The story begins with a dark sky. A dim bulb, lazily stuck on a pole, cast a weak glow over the street corner. In the shadows, a kid sat hunched by the wall near the pole, his small figure barely visible under the faint light. A pile of trash lay scattered below the pole. His face was covered in cuts and scrapes, and his long hair hung over his tired little face. Out of the darkness, a person showed up. They were dressed head to toe in bright yellow, with bleached blonde hair that stood out in the gloom. They carried a red bag slung over one shoulder and walked straight toward the kid. The street was unusually silent, no laughter, no chatter. Even the stray dogs had stopped barking. Crickets weren't chirping either, like the world had hit pause. The pole stood tall, its light shining lonely in the night. The figure stopped walking. The kid's eyes were shut, his exhaustion clear. The blonde-haired person stared at him for a second, their hair glowing faintly under the light. Then they said, "Hey, kid." The boy stirred, slowly opening his groggy eyes. "Did life hit you too hard?" the person asked, their voice loud and clear in the still night. In that moment, with all the color they brought, they were the only thing the boy could focus on. The man leaned in slightly, his voice perking up. "I've got good news for you," he said with a grin. The boy blinked at him, confused. "The stars are shining for you, kid, and when you make it to the top, you and I will face off." In a gym not far away, people were busy training. Punching bags swayed as boxers practiced their moves. A newcomer, Baek-san Ryu, was sparring with another guy. His punches hit clean, throwing the other guy off balance and making his nose bleed. Around the room, chatter buzzed as trainees glanced toward the sparring ring. "Yo, is that guy standing next to the coach who I think it is?" someone whispered. "No way, it's really him," another replied. Their coach, standing nearby, was calm as he watched the scene unfold. Rumors about Kei, a boxing legend, had been spreading. People said he was searching for someone to take his place before he retired. No one expected him to show up at this small gym, but here he was, an older man, built like a tank, standing with arms folded and an intimidating air about him. "That's Kei," someone whispered. "He's trained world champions." The coach caught the trainees staring and clapped his hands. "All right, back to work. Eyes on your training." Embarrassed, the trainees quickly got back to their routines. In the sparring ring, Baek-san Ryu dodged a punch with ease, grinning playfully. His opponent, frustrated, lunged at him, only to get caught off guard as Baek delivered a clean hit to his face. Kei watched silently, his arms crossed, analyzing every move. "Coach, this kid is good, but I can't tell if he's serious. He's playing around too much. Let him fight someone stronger," Kei said with a deep frown. "Stronger?" The coach hesitated. Meanwhile, in the locker room, a guy named Steele was wrapping his hands. He was tall, muscular, and clearly a seasoned fighter. When someone came in to call him, Steele tilted his head, then followed them to the coach. The coach, "Well, this could be interesting, but isn't it unfair? Steele's got the weight advantage, and he's a national champ." Beck, leaning on the ropes of the ring, smiled cheekily. Steele stepped in and looked up at him. "You called for me?" he asked. Then his eyes widened in shock as he noticed Kei. "Wait, is this really Kei? I can't believe I'm seeing him in person." Steele slipped on his gloves and climbed into the ring. "All right, I'm game," he said. The coach warned him, "Take it easy on the kid. Just throw some light punches." Kei, standing by the ring, watched Beck closely as he warmed up. Steele smirked. "No helmet? You sure? What if I knock you out?" Beck shrugged, grinning. "Nah, helmets mess up my hair. Besides, I like the rush." The two fighters squared off. "I'm gonna wipe that smug look off your face," Steele growled. Beck chuckled. "Try me." The fight began, and Beck danced around Steele, moving loosely with a cocky grin. "What's this guy doing?" Someone laughed from the crowd. "He's not even defending himself." The coach, watching from the side, smirked. "Just wait," he muttered under his breath. Suddenly, Beck dodged a hard punch with incredible agility, leaning back like it was nothing. The crowd gasped. "Did you see that?" someone shouted. Kei's frown deepened as he observed. Steele gritted his teeth, annoyed. "You've got guts, kid," he said, stepping up his game. He charged forward, throwing powerful punches, but Beck dodged them all with a mix of skill and confidence. With a quick counter, Beck landed a clean hit on Steele's face. Steele finally got serious, charging at Beck with full force. Beck, smiling like he was having the time of his life, dodged once again, leaving Steele stunned. Kei, still watching, narrowed his eyes. This was no ordinary kid. Steele started advancing seriously, ready to strike back. Baksan Ryu quickly jumped back, sliding behind him, and retaliated with a punch. Steel used his defensive stance, expertly avoiding the attack. He kept both hands in front of his face, his eyes locked on Ryu. "I can see your punches coming from miles away." With a powerful uppercut to the chin, Steel left Ryu stunned, his teeth chattering as he stumbled back. The people in the gym were shocked. A clean hook followed, catching Steel under the jaw, his face turning pale. How could he have been hit? The trainer stood aside, chuckling in admiration. He didn't expect Ryu to be this skilled. Steel's eyes darkened with anger, but Ryu didn't care. He landed another hook to Steel's chin and followed up with a straight punch to his chest. Ryu moved quickly, slipping behind Steel and forcing him to turn around. Ryu smiled before landing a powerful punch to Steel's face, dodging the counterattack effortlessly. Steel gritted his teeth, his brow furrowed in frustration. He couldn't keep up with Ryu's movements. Watching Ryu's nimble, swift footwork, Steel realized he wasn't just fast. His timing and accuracy were perfect. Suddenly, Ryu appeared in front of Steel like a phantom, making him flinch. "Damn it!" Steel growled as a quick punch landed on his cheek. "What kind of demon is he?" Someone in the crowd muttered. Kei silently observed from the side, analyzing Ryu's movements. The kid dodged attacks and countered from impossible angles. Kei noticed the sudden shift from a low hook to a horizontal hook, something most fighters would never attempt because it weakens the punch. But Ryu's flexibility allowed him to maintain power even while changing direction mid-strike. Ryu's decisive punch hit Steel square on the cheek. It wasn't just an ordinary knockout blow. Every punch flowed smoothly, almost seamlessly. Even a professional fighter would struggle to avoid being hit by him. Kei found himself impressed, thinking, even seasoned fighters would be more likely to fall for his moves, given their instinct to react quickly to predictable attacks. One word came to Kei's mind to describe Ryu's style: free. Ryu moved with incredible agility and speed. Steel, still focused on defense, struggled to dodge Ryu's strikes. As Ryu's movements grazed Steel's face, Kei muttered to himself, "It's been a long time since I've seen natural talent like this." Steel was exhausted, panting heavily as he watched Ryu bounce lightly on his feet. His footwork was effortless, like he was floating between the ground and the air, a natural talent. Despite his intense gaze, Ryu's expression stayed calm. Steel imagined Ryu sitting confidently atop a towering mountain while he himself felt like he was stuck on a small hill. Frustrated, Steel took a step forward but stopped. Realizing Ryu's skill was on a different level, Ryu finally found himself cornered in the ring, his eyes darting around nervously. "Ah, I'm cornered. It's over," he muttered. Moments later, Ryu was lying on the floor, a green towel covering his eyes. The coach stepped forward, blaming Steel. "I told you to go easy on him." Steel glanced down at Ryu. "If this fight wasn't in the ring, would you listen to me?" The coach, visibly annoyed, scolded Steel. "What's wrong with you, you jerk?" Kei remained silent, watching Ryu thoughtfully. As the sun set and the gym cleared out, the members chatted excitedly. "Who would have thought that silver-haired kid was so good? Maybe I should ask for his autograph. I've never seen Steel struggle like that." The gym was quiet now, with only the coach and Kei remaining. The coach turned to Kei. "What do you think of Ryu?" Kei pondered for a moment before replying, "He has the potential to be a champion." After saying this, scene slowly fades in. Thank you for watching. Your support means everything. Stay tuned, as the next part of this journey will be dropping soon. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated. See you in the next one.